Hey, welcome back. It has been a few days since I recorded. I was going to start plowing, but then I wanted to think about where exactly to make the field, whether I wanted more than one, and I got some phone calls and some other stuff happened. Actually, a lot happened in the last few days. Let me give you a quick rundown. You see sort of up here, this is the first part, to protect people from flying down this steep embankment now. I have put in a hedge. I figured this is better than a wall. A wall might just stop someone in their tracks. Hedges are kind of yielding, at least. So maybe it'll slow them down and they won't actually have a real bad collision. It doesn't run the full length of the property. I stopped it right here because I thought I might want to make another drive down in this area entrance, but it does run past the very steep bank part. And I did get some irrigation going from the oasis up to the hedge, so hopefully it won't just die. We are, after all, in a desert out here. Which brings me to the next part. I started to plow, and I have marked out an area, but when I got to the area near the oasis, I realized I wanted to come closer to the oasis than the sand would let me. So I had to... Oh, hi bees. Bees seem to be still doing good. Oh, look, there they go. I had to clear some sand away from the back side of the oasis here so that I could bring the field up all the way to where I wanted to bring it. So I did that. That took a while, and that is why the money has gone up. So I've cleared the sand from this back area. Oh, around here, I guess. Back toward the field. And then all that up there on both sides is still covered in sand. I'll clear it eventually. But now I can bring the field right up to here. You see I've got sort of marked out the boundary line of where I want to go. And good news, this looks like very nice soil underneath the sand here. It's just this top layer that's really baked and dry. So I might need to get some irrigation going here, or it might actually just be okay. We'll find out. I'm prepared for either. And the Board of Agriculture had no idea what I would find. So I guess it's good that the soil is good. And the other thing, you can sort of see it in the back corner there, I realized I wasn't actually getting phone calls out here. So I had no way to communicate with people. And when people were trying to call me, it wasn't happening. I'm kind of far from the city, and because nobody else lives out here, they didn't actually bother to have cell coverage. So I had a tower installed back there. You can sort of see it. When we get closer, you'll see it better. So now I've got cell coverage here on the farm, and I can get phone calls again, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, it's been busy, but let's just hop in here and plow this field now. I've been anxious to get this done before the month is up. So let's do it. well, I'm almost done here, but you probably saw I just got a phone call from somebody who I haven't spoken to before. Was a guy named Paul with the Department of Public Works. Turns out that car that crashed down the embankment into my property, there was a news story about that car, and evidently it didn't really look good for DPW, that they've got all this sand on the roads out here and it's causing problems for drivers. So Paul said they're interested in possibly having me come in as a contractor and get set up to clean up the sand outside of the walls. I don't really know all the details yet. I'm going to talk to him again. Evidently they don't really do much work outside of the walls. There are some long-standing bureaucracy around coordinating with Frontier Security whenever their workers go out. So it's easier if a contractor goes out than somebody who is sort of employed with them directly for health and safety reasons. Yeah. Every now and again I get hints of things that make me wonder, what am I really doing out here? Is it really safe? But that is a question for another day. Anyway, so Paul says that because I'm already out here, I can probably shortcut some of the procedures around that. But he will... I said yes, obviously, because I need the money. And it's a hazard, and I would love to make the money for the contract that they're going to pay me, and also he said I could sell the sand. So he's going to let Frontier Security know, and somebody named Kendra will be calling me from Frontier Security to make whatever arrangements need to happen on their end. I don't know yet exactly what that is. I am looking forward to finding out. So yeah, I still have a lot of equipment to buy. It'll be good to have some more income to get going with that. Okay, we are done. That is awesome. This plow did a really good job. I have only rented it for now, but I think I might buy this. We're gonna have some more fields someday. It seems to work well on this tractor. It's a good size. Not too small. I got that done. Didn't take too long. This is going to be a large field. Gosh, look at this. I am so excited. Yay! I can't wait to put some lime on this and cultivate it, get it all nice and ready to plant in the spring. That is my plan for the next few months. That's so great. Awesome. Okay, so I will get this plow taken back over to the shop. Maybe I'll talk to Dan over there about buying it. I don't know if he would let me have a deal because of it's used now. Maybe I'll wait and see if it comes up for sale. Rachel did clue me in that they sometimes sell the equipment that they've been loaning out for lease. So sometimes you can see in the months after having leased equipment, it comes up for sale. Maybe I'll keep an eye out and see if it comes up that way. I have been looking around. I know this is thinking about the future quite a lot. There is this area here next to where I'm situated. Like this whole open area would be another great spot to have a second field. So it goes all the way up to the road. It goes back to just a little past where I started the edge of the field there. Kind of close to where those oil drilling rigs are set up. It's pretty expensive, so I don't feel like I can spend the money yet since we still have a lot of equipment to buy, but I am definitely thinking about it. Maybe if I make some good money clearing the sand off the roadways, if that deal with the DPW comes through, then I can afford to buy it before spring. It would be awesome to get a second field going. I'm really excited about the idea. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think we'll call that there, and I will get that taken back to the shop, and I'll talk to Dan also while I'm there about what kind of equipment I'm going to need to spread lime on that field. It is definitely going to need some adjustment. Some, what do they call it? I'm drawing a blank. I'm not a farmer. Like when they put fertilizer and lime on the field, there's a word for that. Amendment. There we go. It's going to need some amendments. I'm going to have to spread fertilizer too. And deal with weed control. There is a lot of equipment I'm still going to need to buy. You know, I also kind of don't love living in this tent. Especially at night. Somebody pointed out that maybe at night is when all the creepy crawly things come out. I don't know what... Oh, that generator's so loud. I don't know what creepy crawly things there are out here. So far, all I've seen are my bees that I brought out. But Old Town being right there being no wall between me and it just makes me feel a little weird, a little uncomfortable. So I kind of don't want to live in this tent forever. It's going to be cold in the winter, and honestly, it's an outhouse. It's a little, like, porta-potty outhouse. I do not love that. And especially in the heat, it is not very nice inside there. So I was thinking maybe I could try to put up a little house or something over on the other side. Nothing big. But all this costs money, and I don't know where to spend it. Another field? More equipment? Walls? It's hard to say. Yeah, just things I think about. Okay, I am over here at the shop. I came to pick up my cultivator so that I can take that out and cultivate that field that I just plowed. And, Rachel told me about this little thing. It is an electric telehandler. Check it out. It's mine. I gotta stop spending money, but this thing is going to be so useful. So all those things I'm growing in my greenhouses, let's get in here and talk and drive. All the things I'm growing in my greenhouses, I can't bring that right now. We'll come back for it. All the things I'm growing in my greenhouses, the cabbages and the carrots and the watermelons, I'm sort of putting them in crates and then taking them and stacking those on pallets, and the pallets are really heavy. I can't actually move those myself once I get the crates piled up on them. So I was thinking I would use the wheel loader, because I've got the pallet forks for that, but the wheel loader is very big to fit into the middle greenhouse that's sort of in between the other two. And I can maybe do it, but you saw me moving around the sand last month. I've gotten a little better with it since then, but I'm a little bit like a bull in a china shop when I drive that thing around. And I don't love the idea of potentially destroying my beautiful glass greenhouses. They're sturdy, but I don't think they're that sturdy. So that telehandler is going to be perfect in that tight space there. Rachel's going to get that all serviced for me. It is used. You see the money went down. I paid like $44,000 and change to buy that. And I'll have to spend a little more to buy pallet forks for it. And Rachel's going to get that all fixed up for me. And later in the month or early next month, I will come back into town and pick that up. I will have to rent a trailer because it is slow. I'm not driving that on the road. It is really nice to be able to take this other access road, though. It's very cool. I've been driving my truck, the TLX, in and out the front main gate to bring sand in to sell. I try not to use these side gates unless I really need to. And it's just congested there all the time. I am a little paranoid about using this gate, even though I am cleared to do it. I have the transponder. Frontier Security impressed upon me how serious it was for these things to remain closed and to wait until they close all the way before you leave. So I'm a little paranoid, I guess you could say, about making sure this thing stays closed. I don't want to be responsible for getting anybody in the city in trouble. And, you know, I would also lose my access, my security clearance to go through these gates, and my transponder if I mess up the procedure. So I just don't want to take that risk. It's too convenient when I'm carrying these big pieces of equipment. Nice thing about that hedge is it makes it very easy to spot my drive. Sometimes if I'm coming out here late in the day or early when there's not great light, it's not obvious from the road where that is, so that hedge helps. Alright, here we are. Got my nice, shiny new cultivator. Slightly used. A little paint scraped off, but you know, that'll do the trick. So I think next month I will see about getting this cultivated, and then we can spread some lime on it. It's just these big old plow furrows. You can't plant into those. so got to get everything nice and smoothed out for the cedar. And I think I will also try to see if there are any more contracts I can do to harvest, so I can try out some different pieces of equipment and maybe get to know some other farmers in the area. Estelle, I spoke to her again to collect on the contracts I did for Ravenwood Farm, and she told me about Mossy Pine Farm. If you recall, that was the one that had the horses but looked abandoned otherwise. It turns out the owner of Mossy Pine passed away about 4 or 5 months ago and did not have any next of kin, so the city has been sort of liquidating the assets of that farm. That may be part of the used equipment I'm buying actually may be coming from there. I wonder if this tractor came from Mossy Pine. Interesting. Yeah, so the city has been liquidating some of those assets, but they are hiring basically local workers to come in and look after the horses. They haven't figured out yet how to dispose of them. They're having to value them and everything. So, I don't know. I guess the horses are not ignored, but there's also nobody living there looking after them right now, which I thought was kind of strange. I don't know. I don't really know how these things work. I wonder how much work it is to set up a stable. I have some space over here. Do I want to get into horses? I mean, I did always want a horse when I was growing up. Living in the city, I would look out of the city walls and see all this space and just daydream. I'll have to think about that. You know, I think we'll call it here. I don't want to get into any other long projects right now and keep you guys occupied too long. I need to get some way to wash these things. It's getting very dirty, especially the wheel loader with all the sand I'm hauling. Right. We'll call it there. I'll see you all, I guess, in November at this point. Ta-ta for now.